Welcome, beautiful ladies of Wifery Garden.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, we missed us all together last week. We had Shay the last episode. I was trying to get her on here today, so I don't know if she'll come or not, but she's invited and welcome if she can. But welcome to Wifery Garden. We got so much stuff. I hope y'all got time today. Y'all got time today?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Well, welcome to Wifery Garden. Okay. Trinity jumped off the show.
Sorry, I don't know what happened.
Yeah. Glad to have you back on. We have you ladies sent me so much great stuff to go over today.
Y'all look absolutely gorgeous. Trim the puff, taking me away. You haven't got her tresses and curls. Honey.
I like your hair, Tia.
Thank you.
Yes,
pretty
Tia
too.
looking fabulous. Everybody is just fabulous. You women are amazing, and I'm so blessed to have you. Yes, my puff is a mess, but that's a good thing about locks. It can be messy and cute all at the same time.
Like, you got the locks up in the ponytail. Who does that?
I love that. You ladies are gorgeous. So if you haven't hit the like button, do that immediately as you come into this live. And we got so much stuff. So first I'm gonna do the lighthearted stuff first, and then we're gonna go dark. We're gonna go dark, honey. It's gonna get dark. So we're gonna talk about y'all know it's Pride Month, so we're gonna be talking about that stuff later. I have a lot to say about that madness. But first we're gonna do the okay, I gotta remember to do these disclaimers. It's lots of curse words. People are cursing, so put the children away. This is not for children's. Grown-ups only. Bad words. We say bad words. And we listen to bad words. So religious Christians not welcome and children not welcome. Okay, there's that. And then first clip we're gonna go to, a trend sent me, was the women perverts in the gym. So women insist on recording themselves in the gym and then telling men, "Oh, you're a pervert if you're looking at me. Why are you looking at me and I'm showing my breast and I'm showing my butt, but you're a pervert." What's wrong with you for looking at me showing my stuff? So let's look at this lady, this creepy lady at the gym, bothering the pole brother behind her. Let me know if y'all can hear.
So I want to share a full video of the now viral moment that is being shared across Instagram on the account of Mr. Joey Swole. And I hate to send attention back his way, but it's been edited to make it appear something that it's not. And so I want to share the actual truth of what happened. So this is the gentleman that I was referring to in the clip that was on my story. It was not a post. I'm taking off my band like I've been doing for years, guys. If you follow me, you know. And unfortunately, the gentleman behind me is taking it as an opportunity to give me more attention than I preferred in that moment. And it made me uncomfortable, which is why I talked about it. And what you don't get to see on the video is the man intentionally watching me in the gym, which I saw when I was doing my cardio and when I was working out. You didn't see the man intentionally walk over and sit down so that he could watch me. I've been doing this for a long time, guys, and people know who I am. So that's the kind of attention that I get. I don't typically mind, but when it becomes so obvious, that's when it makes me uncomfortable. And this gentleman was just very obvious with his attention. And whenever he's not looking at me, guys, it's because I look at him and he can tell I'm looking at him, so he looks away. But if you notice, he's slowly glancing down, he's looking at his phone, he's looking away, all because he wants to give the appearance he's not looking at me when in fact he actually is. And you can see, if you actually slow this video down, you see here, he just even pauses and, puts his hands behind his head. So I want to share.
How annoying. She's very obviously showing herself. She's showing herself and then ridiculing the man looking, her showing and exposing her own buttocks.
That she's pulling the side of her pants down
Right.
to see the V of her vagina.
I'm delusional.
What is
I don't even
this?
really see him looking at her like that though.
Not how she's making it seem. Because, like, why can't this wait till you get home?
Yeah, or go in the locker room.
Or in the
Yeah.
in the locker room. Why you gotta do it right in front of everybody? You want it to be seen, and people are looking and trying not to look. You right there in the front of the mirror, like.
And it's probably one of them big mirrors that stretch way
Yeah.
across the gym where
Mhm.
everybody can see her.
And she's talking about that she's known. I don't know who that is, but I
I don't
know
know
who
who
Joey Swole
that
is. He getting on them.
She-
Little white men.
Yeah. She is she's prepping her breast.
Literally putting her teeth. Oh.
Okay. So then she's gonna call the man behind her a pervert. And she is very obviously stripping in the gym for everyone to see. This is so bizarre. But this is
And
what
she's recording it too.
and she's recording it. Look, she's showing her butt cheeks.
Oh my god.
And the man is the problem. He the problem. He the pervert. This is women. So many women is so. I don't even know the word. I don't know the word.
My whole thing is like men can be uncomfortable too. Like that
Yeah.
would make me uncomfortable.
Right.
Like if I was a man, you know, and I'm say married or whatever the case is, and there's just a woman like stripping in front of me at the gym, I'd be like, you know, weirded out.
Yeah.
Like they could look at you and be uncomfortable and weirded out, but you think that they're trying to flirt you. They really don't like you like that. They just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And it's not like he was just straight eyeballing her, because what I saw, I didn't really see him like looking at her all like that.
No,
And you're
it
in
wasn't.
front of the mirror, and everyone else has to use that mirror to see themselves.
Right.
Like if
Exactly.
if he's on that machine, if anyone's on that machine, they're using the mirror to make sure their arms are positioned all that correctly. You're in front of where Lord.
The delusion. It's so delusional and it's frustrating because this behavior is tolerated, number one, at the gym it's only tolerated for women.
Right.
Yeah.
So what a man. He said, I'm sorry, I'm not homosexual, but a lot of women make me sick. Because it is sickening. That is sickening. Like, and then she's like, is that, I don't know, would you call that narcissistic? Would that be a narcissistic characteristic? How, I don't know if you would call that narcissism. Look at me. I want you to look at me, but I don't want you to let me know you're looking at me.
If you're unattractive.
If you're unattractive.
Yeah.
If that was a fine man staring at her, she would not be doing all that.
Yeah.
It's only a pervert when men are only perverts when the female is not attracted to you.
That's exactly it. Because that was one of my first thoughts when I seen that. Like, because he's an old man, and he an old man. He like, you showing it? She is showing it. What? I don't get it. But this is what a lot of women do. I did that episode with Candace Owens, how saying women are perverts because so many women walk around half naked and then make it the man is the pervert for looking. Yeah. You're advertising. That's like putting a sign out in front of a restaurant saying free drinks and then calling people they're thieves that come read the advertisement to go get free drinks.
When I go out, I be knowing what I'm doing. Like I be knowing, like, when I got the girls out, I got the legs out, I'm gonna have men looking and I'm gonna love every minute of it. But when I don't want to be looked at, I got baggy stuff on, I got my sweats, I ain't showing nothing. So it's like we be knowing what we're doing.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. If I know I'm gonna draw attention to myself, I have to cover it up. I was telling somebody, it's like certain stuff I don't wear because my booty be eating my pants, be eating my shorts. And just that in and of itself is enough to draw attention to myself. I get attention from wearing sweatpants. I don't need the booty short. I don't need, if I used to be like, cause I think to some degree women almost base their value off of how much attention they get from men.
Right.
And I did for a long time when I was younger. So when I lost that attention from men, I felt less valuable.
Yeah.
But when you once you get a certain age and you're like, you know what, I don't want all that attention. I don't if I think my coochie lips are looking, if I think my booty looking like it's a little extra juicy that day, I'm gonna do something to distract from it if I can.
Yep.
I mean, some stuff you can't avoid, but some stuff, like you said, women know absolutely what they're doing. It's very intentional. It's like, I want you to want to F me, but I don't want you to actually look at me.
Don't make me feel uncomfortable about
Don't
it.
make me uncomfortable. Whatever. What a man says, just like going to these customers' houses and the women wearing yoga pants, then their man looking at me like I'm the crazy one. Y'all, because let me tell you, that is absolutely intentional. She's attention starved. But I have been in my bonnet and robe and had where workers have come to the house and I've been hit on in a bonnet and a robe. I promise.
Yeah.
Okay. Where they shoot they shot. You don't need to be half naked if they're gonna shoot they shot. They're gonna do it anyway. I've seen it. I'm like, I don't got no makeup on, my lips crusty. I got a whole bonnet on and this raggedy robe.
Ain't brush your teeth.
Ain't brushed my teeth. Probably ain't got no deodorant on. And you is trying to do what? Get out of here, demon. Get out of here, Lord. But that's what it is. Lord have mercy. That's ridiculous. Help these women, Jesus. Women know what they be doing. And you know, men, you know, it's like flashing the red flag in front of a bull and then mad when it attacks you.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, honey. We going on right to the next topic. So this was what Tia wanted to talk about today. Dating with children when you don't have children. So I found this clip on this is an old clip. Did y'all ever watch? Have y'all ever watched this, or have y'all watched this?
When
recently?
Tamar was on, but
Oh,
I'm watching it after that.
I've seen clips of it.
Yeah. So this is a short clip with these ladies. I used to watch them pretty hard, but then it started getting, you know, and then the woke stuff, and then they start getting whatever.
Which
So,
stuff?
That's why they cooked him off, because it was they became unreal.
yeah,
Mhm.
they did. They
Is
did.
that Tia or Tamara? That the twin.
That's
This-
Tamara.
Tamara.
Yeah. They're twins, but Tamara's the white twin and Tia's the black twin.
I've heard that.
But she the sweet one. She just ratchet.
Or tries to be, because she's
Tries
really
to be.
not.
She's not, yeah.
Girl,
I
you're right.
think because she's been called the black twin so long that she's trying to, I don't know, become
Really fit the stereotype.
really.
Oh, man.
It's like, man, you're still, come on, you still got that.
You're still, come on.
You don't have to force it. You're trying to fight it. It's okay.
Oh yeah. We'll see if she get her husband back. All right, well, let's see what these ladies talking about.
I used to somebody who had kids. I am going to be 30 this year. He's older than me and he has children. And it was scary at first. And the idea of it was scary. I was like,
All right, what y'all think?
I don't know. It sounded like me arguing with myself a little bit. Like when I think about it. Because it's like I heard both sides and I understood both sides. So it kind of sounded like myself arguing.
Yeah. So I can only so logically I would say if you don't have children, seek out people who don't have children.
Yeah.
That's ideal. But I also say do what God tell you to do. Bottom line, because you may meet someone who God is saying, even though you don't have children and this person does have children, this is who I want in your life. This is who I want you in their life. So, you know, we could talk logics, but at the end of the day, God has the last word. He the only one that knows the future of that situation, because it absolutely can work. Anthony O'Neill, I don't know if y'all heard of him. He do money finance YouTube. He's a YouTuber. And he did an episode of both sets of parents where both of his parents, he's an only child, but both his parents married different people. And just the same as what's the Puerto Rican girl name? Help me out
Adrian.
on the real.
Adrian.
That she was just saying,
Oh,
Adrian. Where Adrian was just saying that where Adrian was just saying how her parents, both sets of parents, get along really well. That was the same thing Anthony O'Neill said, that his both sets of his parents were at that meeting discussing how they work together for his best interest. So it can work. It's like she said, are folks willing to act like grown-ups?
Like that.
Yeah.
I mean, baby mama drama definitely does exist. Like, you see it everywhere all the time. Like, what's it called? There was like a wife that didn't want to feed the baby's kid or her husband's kids or whatever. Like, it's just different things that come in with it. Like when you say act like grown-ups, a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
Like if you're a mother, you should never let children go hungry, no matter how you feel about it. Like, kids don't deserve to be treated like whatever because you got an issue with a grown person. But then again, she did say, like, you didn't intentionally seek out that man. You know, you're not just gonna walk around and be like, you know, I want a man that has kids.
Yeah.
So it's like if you fall in love with somebody and God tell you to be with them, like, I mean, it is what it is at that point. So it's like, I don't know.
I mean, if you're single and you have no children, I don't think it's anything wrong for you to be hard set. Like, I do not want a man with children. If that's, I don't think it's not wrong with having that boundary. Like, if that's a boundary that you set for yourself, I don't think it's not wrong with that. I don't think it's not wrong with that.
Yeah,
No.
don't essentially like go seek it out, you know.
No, I mean,
it comes with that.
I feel like I've been going back and forth with it though, because I'm like, but then I'd be like, okay, if the reason I was like, I've been thinking about it lately, just as of late, because I'm like, I do like a little bit older than me now, you know, because more established and all of that. Most of the time. But and then like I'm like, with that, they probably were like, would I be okay with it if they were married and they had a kid and they just so happen, you know, they got married at 18, they're grown now, it didn't work out, the marriage didn't work out, and they have kids, like whatever. And then it's like, okay, that's great. And then it's like, if they do have kids, then it's like, hopefully you're not gonna be pressuring me to have kids. So it's like, then that's a win-win. I don't have to have kids. You already have kids. So it's like,
right.
You know, so that's why this has kind of been going back and forth with it. Because I feel like I've been meeting guys, and then like I'll tell them that like I don't want kids, and then it's like, call them back a little bit. It's like, you're short and bald, so like who cares? But still, it's like it's annoying. Like, what? Why do you? I don't know. So I've been going back and forth. That's why I was like, I
think it's reasonable to be in the middle. If you know what I mean, like it's, to be in the middle about it, like to be okay either way. Like, well, Lord, whatever you have for me, I will accept.
Yeah.
Like if this, you know, if I find a man and the Lord's telling me he does have kids, and he does have kids, but the Lord's telling me this is who he wants for me, I'm okay with that. If he doesn't have kids, I'm okay with that. But then that's like you said, that is the other side, that if you meet a man that doesn't have children, that you could run into him wanting children.
Yeah, exactly. It's weird because it's like I used to be hard. Hell no. Heck no. I was like, crazy.
Why you don't want kids, you think?
Where do I start? It's like, no. I just get it. No, I don't know. I don't. It doesn't appeal to me. Nothing about it. I don't want to be pregnant. I don't want to carry a kid. I don't want to care about somebody for the rest of their life. And then they might end up being serial killers. Like, how do you know? And it's like there's certain things that like your parents can do that, you know, they do the best that they can. And it's like you can still end up being a little messed up, you know. So it's like I just don't want to do it.
So it sounds like you've allowed fear to dictate your future.
I like things how they are right now.
Yeah. I mean, but that's what it sounds like. It sounds like fear. It sounds, because everything you said was negative about having children. You sound like you're afraid of having children. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't don't allow yourself to be dictated by fear, because then once you get an age where you feel like you might want kids, and it'd be too late. I think confidence in the Lord, training them up in the Lord, is a guarantee that they will, number one, that they won't be serial killers. Okay. Training them up, making sure they know who they are in the Lord, keeping them in the Word, keeping them and where they have a relationship with the Lord, I think is number one. And I think that would be an important factor too. If you do date men with children, how are they raised up? Are they raised up in knowing the Lord? Because he can have kids, but like you said, if he ain't raising them right, if he ain't got them, if they don't know the Lord, that's a whole other set of problems.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know. That's that's something you can come to terms with you and the Lord and pray about and stuff. But don't let fear dictate for you, because all fear is a way to keep you from getting to your true destiny.
Yeah.
That you look back 20 years like, oh, why didn't I? Like Judge Faith, she's in her 40s and she met her husband, and he was previously married, Kenny Lattimore. He got grown kids, and they had a baby together. And I think that work it can work. And women ain't getting old like they used to. They trying to scare women. Oh, you don't have a baby by this time, it's too late. It's not like that no more. Yeah. Women are having babies without IVF. Half the time women can't get pregnant because they stressed. People don't like to hear that, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
I've heard over and over again women who can't have babies, they adopt and then it get pregnant as soon as they adopt.
Oh, yeah.
Because they stop worrying.
Yeah.
They stop being stressed out. So women ain't getting old like they used to. A woman could go well into her 40s, find her husband, and have a baby at 45 and be just fine. Enjoy her life.
Right.
Okay. Without the drama, without all of because I'm seeing what Hira sent me some 60-something-year-old woman talking about she pregnant and her baby daddy don't want the baby in her 60s. You too old.
Oh yeah, in the car. They was arguing in the car. Yeah.
You is too old to play that game.
You know better.
So don't let fear in anything stop you. Because the Lord only thing the Lord going to do is tell you exactly what he has for you, exactly who he has for you, and any plans he has for you is for you to win.
Amen.
But I can understand women being afraid to get pregnant and have a baby. I can understand that fear. That makes perfect sense. Or be having anxiety of that. But once you do it, it's an indescribable experience to be able to say that this human being I created with, from my body, that my husband and I created together. You see my baby down on the bottom, and it has your likeness. It has your, someone you can look at and be like, oh, you what did they say? My coochie fruit.
That's not
Tran, you're her coochie fruit.
No,
That's
not
not
a coochie fruit.
Stop.
Wow.
Coochie fruit.
I was not expecting that.
Oh, it's so funny. It's an amazing thing. But I wouldn't say be afraid. I wouldn't say be afraid of it. But if you, like I said, if you are going to date a man with children, make sure he see how he treat them and how they treat him, and take all the things into consideration. The woman in the lives. Yeah, that's a lot more to consider. But when it's just yours and you ain't got all that background madness, a little less burden, a little less baggage. Yeah. So. But it's all it's a toss up, because if he already is a father, you get to see how he already is with kids.
Yeah, that's true.
That is true.
For me, I think the older I will get, Lord willing, the more open I'll be. I think, maybe.
Yeah.
But I think also the stricter the rules would be. Like, we have to be like, your kids would have to be in between a certain age. The mother of the child, it only has to be one. It cannot be multiple. It have to be
that's
one,
for sure. Yeah.
One woman, and she has to be married already. And if she's not married, she has to be dead. I'm so serious. Those are the only two. If she's not married, it better be, my condolences. But that's the only way I'm gonna be okay with the idea that you allowed another woman to bear your children or your child without a ring. That's the only way I'm gonna be okay. But okay, she married, she got a man, so she's completely moved on.
Yeah.
Completely moved on. And your children are a certain age, which means it's been years. And so the rules would be much stricter.
Yeah.
That makes sense. She got to be dead.
Yeah,
Or
they
the man said there are a lot of factors from if the kids are trained and the obsessed baby daddies.
Yep.
Mhm. Oh yeah, they be obsessed. So like Trent said, I think that's how when you have tight, strict boundaries like that, that give the Lord something to do to work things out. Like, Lord, if this who you want me to be with, it gotta be like this, it gotta be like this, and that's how I'll know it's you.
And then I heard you, Lord.
I was
Then I
seeing
know
something.
it's
I was
you.
seeing a Pop the Balloon, and she had two last contestants,
Mhm.
or the girl had two more balloons left to pop.
Mhm.
That was her
Mhm.
choice.
Mhm.
One of them, he seemed like a genuine man, but he had 3 kids. You know, he was, hardworking. I think he said he did mechanics and stuff like that. Mechanics make good money, but he had 3 kids, and then the other guy was like, I don't have kids. I got a house, I got a pool, I got a this, I got a third, and people were mad that she picked the one with no kids. Like, I think people forgot that the dude said he had 3 children, because people were like, "Oh, she a gold digger. Oh, she here we go with it's a transaction." It's like, did y'all not hear this man say he has 3 children by 3 different women? Did y'all not hear that part?
No,
Did y'all
they
not
ignore
hear
that
that part?
intentionally.
Like,
A
yeah,
lot of
I
people
could not fathom, like, you allowed, especially if it's multiple women, you allowed multiple women to carry your legacy without a ring.
Yeah.
I can't wrap my head around that.
Huge turn off. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like, I can, and then again, it's circumstantial, right? I can understand if there was a time in your life, you was buck wild, you had a couple kids when you was a teenager. Okay, they grown now, right? And then it's very circumstantial, right? Let's think scenarios, right? He had a couple kids, he was a teenager, those didn't work out, so he got a couple baby mamas, them kids are grown, and then he was married for a little while trying to get his life right. That didn't work out, so they might have had a few kids, but he been single for a good stretch of time, right? It got to be real.
No.
That's a lot going on right there.
And once again,
That's a little bit too much.
I'm not dogging them. Like, how they'd be quick to dog a woman who has multiple kids. I'm not dogging a man. Like, I still think he deserves to be loved. I still think I'm not about to be like, oh, you're leftovers, you're that, you don't deserve. But no, all that extra circumstantial. If it's that he doing
just play devil's advocate. I hear that. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. So yeah, I'm like, I would imagine that if you set these things that, okay, Lord, this is what I'm gonna look for specifically so that I know it's you. Like on Dear Future Wifey, the one woman, she said, any man, and when she would go on dates, any man that would try to kiss her on a date, she would immediately know that wasn't her husband. Any man that tried to kiss her, and then she went on this date with the guy that was currently her husband, he said God told him not to try to kiss her before. She never mentioned anything about it, and they went on a date, and he never, he didn't try anything, and she said that's how she knew he didn't try to kiss her.
Wow.
That's how she knew that was her husband. Something simple as that. Like setting a boundary, setting a standard. This is what I'm looking for, Lord, so that I know if this is what I find, I know it's you, where you have that relationship with the Lord. Oh, yeah. Any last thoughts about this before I go on to the next clip?
It was helpful. Thanks, Sky.
Of course. We praying for you, my gorgeous sister-in-law.
Thanks.
Don't forget to like and share and subscribe, please. We are going to go to the next topic. So I know Trent wanted to talk about this a little bit more. Why beautiful women stay single. And I found this clip with this doctor. I found a couple of clips with her. Dr. Sadia Psychology. I love her channel. She has a lot of really good stuff. So she's a pretty lady. So let's see what she says in this.
To get married. In order for a marriage to work, we need to be incredibly forgiving. Here's why attractive women are less likely to get married. In order for a marriage to work, we need to be incredibly forgiving and show a lot of compromise. Now, because attractive women are surrounded by men who are constantly making them promises, whenever her partner's behavior is fallible, she believes that she doesn't have to put up with this because there's men willing to give her everything that she's ever asked for. even though it's not true. And as a result, she becomes less tolerant and compromising and more likely to walk away every time things are becoming difficult. Second reason is throughout the course of a marriage, they tend to desire their woman less and less. Now, attractive women, they find this transition very difficult to deal with because they're surrounded by men who are almost tripping over themselves to tell her how beautiful she is. When she's with a man who slowly is becoming indifferent to her appearance, she finds this very difficult to put up with. So instead of accepting that this is a natural process, she'll simply replace the man to receive the same validation that she's used to receiving all the time. And as a result, she's less likely to settle down.
What y'all think about that?
She right.
The maths.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I mean, I hate that compromise word. I just hate it. I am not negotiating with you every time something goes. So, but God's working with me because I know you do need to compromise.
Oh my gosh.
But it's very hard for me.
And I think you know how sometimes they say like, oh, it's because the fathers aren't home, but I think sometimes the fathers can enable that spoiledness. Like if you have a dad who you know like who's either never told you no or you know it's that situation. I was so spoiled. My dad so spoiled me, but at the same time I got the other side of this is reality. Like you can't get everything you want, you know, if you don't, especially if you're not working for it. But there are women who, especially with their dad never told them no. So it's like, what? You're a man, you're telling me no?
Mm-hmm.
What? So then I think it could be that too. It's not just a woman because she doesn't have a father.
Yeah.
But
I agree with that. Yeah, I think it's so interesting that she said that when they get married and then, you know, things settle down in a marriage where the man is not tripping all over you like he once was, where, you just kind of, it's like you want to say get used to you, but it's like now, we're just comfortable. Yeah, you get comfortable. And I think, like she said, a lot of beautiful women get, because now he's probably not so, willing to do whatever, let her spend up everything like he may have once was.
Yeah.
And I think to some degree that's the fault of the man. Because like we heard Game Changer talking about, oh, if she's beautiful, she should get everything. And this is what men are doing in the beginning of relationships. Yeah. And then when their money starts to dwindle, then they want to start setting boundaries.
Yeah.
I can see in the comments already, Mom. Women never take accountability.
But it's the truth. But that goes for any relationship. If you're not setting boundaries in your relationship, you can't expect to try to put boundaries on people in the relationship and then expect them to, you know what I mean? Oh, well, I let you do whatever you want to me in the beginning. Now I want you to respect me and respect my boundaries. You can, but it's very difficult once you've allowed sheep to run free. It's very difficult to put a fence around them once they've run loose around a field.
Yeah.
So even though she's beautiful, you want to give her everything. Set boundaries. That's how you be a man.
Right.
If you let her spend all your money in the beginning, that's what she's going to continue to expect. If you're breaking the bank for an engagement ring that you can't afford, she's going to continue to expect that same thing after you get married, to be able to buy whatever she wants, regardless of whether y'all can afford it or not.
Right.
But if you set boundaries as a man, like, you know what, I stay in budget. We're not just going to eat out every day. I'm not buying a ring that I can't afford. We're going to be reasonable on that aspect, which I think is so ridiculous. I don't believe in the rings that I have, like the wedding rings I have. We bought these after we got married, like 5-6 years, maybe 7 years after we were married. And we picked these out together.
Oh.
The wedding ring we had I don't even have it no more. The rings we had when we got married, we were $80. Okay. And I picked them out myself because a lot of women end up agreeing to engagements for the ring, not because they want to be married.
Yeah.
Even to the man that's proposing to them.
Yeah.
I saw something about like engagement rings, and it was like if a man doesn't propose to you with the ring that you like, he doesn't like love you enough to pay attention to you and what you like. So never accept the ring from someone who gives you a ring that you don't like. But the thing about it is, like, people are so focused on looks. Like, I was talking to my dad the other day, and my dad said that he was like on a boat or whatever, living his best life, I guess. But he was with a friend, older man, and he said that he was married to his wife for like, I think it was like 18 years. I don't remember how long it was, but it was a long time. And he said that he divorced her because one day he woke up and she just wasn't pretty anymore. Like, he was not physically attracted to her anymore. So he left.
Good Lord.
Oh,
So it's like these looks that people are so focused on and hell bent over. It's like, even if, because beauty is a preference, you know what I mean? Anyway, regardless. But like, I don't want to be beautiful and just, you know, have no values or have no emotional anything. Just, I'm pretty, so gimme. I deserve everything that you could possibly give me, because you'll never find someone as cute as me or cuter than me, and I'm this. And so self-centered. It's like, you could wake up one day and your beauty fades and he leaves you because you're not as pretty anymore. And that's what you made your relationship out to be, is how beautiful you are and how much you deserve from him because you're beautiful. But you're not anymore. So now what?
right.
And he leaves you for the next beautiful. And a lot of people, I keep seeing, you know, men saying that, you know, they'll date 18-year-olds because they're 18 and they're legal. So people turn 18 every day.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, like, they don't just not, you know, stop there because, you know, they want someone older and, you know, they're not creeps or they're not weird. It's only because it's legal. They'll date 18-year-old girls.
Yeah. Oh,
Just
yeah.
because it's legal.
Just because it's legal. And again, I can't say it enough to make sure the Lord tells you who is for you. Because even if it doesn't work out, it's still like Megan Good. She was, you know, she couldn't understand why her marriage didn't work. She was like, I know God. I remember when they first got married, and she's like, I know God told me that was my husband, and he very well may have, but the husband didn't. You know, he filed for divorce. I don't know why. So she said she was angry with God because she like, Lord, I know you told me that was my husband. So she couldn't understand why it didn't work out. But, you know, God could tell you who your husband is, but people do what they want to do. He don't got no control over what people do at the end of the day. But also, you learn. Me and my husband, we talk about that all the time. If we had to be single, if for whatever reason, whatever we got going on didn't work for whatever reason, you know, God forbid, but stuff happens. So we don't know. Stuff happens. We don't know how things are gonna be, but you know, stuff happens. But if we ever had to be single, God is my first husband. I'm not jumping back into that whole. I'm not jumping back to that. I did that enough. I'm at a point. If you ain't my husband, you're not getting this. That's it. That's it. And if I ain't, and I'm not rushing into another marriage because I love my husband, but if this don't last forever, I ain't doing this for a very long time. Lord willing, you know what I mean? Like I'm not doing this again because people is crazy.
Yeah.
People are crazy,
especially nowadays. You do not want to be in this dating pool at all. You do not want to be here.
No.
Don't be here.
No.
Cute at all. Don't come back. Stay where you're at.
We're all pruny. We're ready to get out.
No,
we're ready to be done.
No desire, no interest whatsoever. But I would. But then I would also say don't rush into marriage either, because that has its whole own set of whatever. Yeah. So enjoy your life where you at.
Yeah.
Enjoy your life where you at. She has another clip that I thought was worth playing just to clarify things. She makes some really good points in this short clip too.
New women
do not hate nice men. What we do dislike is men who lack masculinity. Now, a lot of nice guys tend to be men who also lack other masculine traits that women find attractive. And what they do is they blame their nice nature as to why they have no success with women. When you take a man who still has masculine traits and is nice, he ends up having hyper success with women. But when you take a man who's nice by default because he can't exercise his masculinity, he can't say no, he can't set boundaries, he can't exert his dominance, of course women are not going to find that attractive. The difference between being nice and being a good guy is the nice guy desexualizes himself. And how he desexualizes himself is by men do not hate nice men.
Let's see how. But like she said, setting boundaries. Be a man. Be a man. Don't worry about whether she like what you got to say, whether she likes the boundaries you set. If she don't like that you know who you are and you're established and you have boundaries and standards, she ain't for you.
Yeah.
Because any woman that is for you is going to appreciate that you exert yourself like a man.
Yeah.
She might be mad, but she'll be like what's that one clip where she's like, I like it when you take charge, daddy.
Right. She might have a little like whatever, but she absolutely will appreciate because she feels safe.
Yeah.
That you're man enough to stand up. Because if you can't, a woman, let me tell you, women, we know when men are weak. If you're not man enough to stand up to her, we know you ain't standing up to nobody.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Facts.
That's facts.
If you ain't man enough to put me in my place and stand up to me, you're not going to do it anywhere to anybody at any time, at any point, at any place.
Yeah.
That's true.
And then they said, I don't like that they just try to make it seem like it's either one way or another. It's either nice guy where he's whatever, or he's a bad guy where he's abusive and cheating. Like there are some men who know how to balance staying firm and still being loving, knowing how to put their foot down at the same time, still knowing, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not just one. I know majority of things may be black and white and things of that nature, but there are still men who are like, all right, I love you, but don't ever talk to me like that again. You feel what I'm saying? He put the love, but he let it be known. You can't talk to me like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not always where he's a coward or
that's like that's the thing. It's the love aspect.
Yeah.
It's the love. It's the love aspect. Oh, Willie said, oh, really? Yes, Willie. Yes, Willie. Be a man.
Yes.
Tell your women
Willie,
your boundaries
Willie.
and your standards. Oh, yes. It's absolutely the facts. My screen just went out. But absolutely, I meant every word I said. But like Trent said, it's that love aspect. It's the love. God will tell you how to love on your woman, how to set boundaries, how to love yourself enough to be a model for your woman, because you have to model the behavior you expect from your woman. A lot of men don't lead by as a model. They lead by control. They want to control. That's not leadership.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not leadership. That is that you trying to control, and that's not that ain't it either. Lead by lead like Jesus. Jesus led by showing us how to live, by showing us how to walk on this earth with a sinful life. He know we couldn't do it perfectly by ourselves, but he did what he had to do to show us how to walk this life sin free. So lead as a role model for your family, for your woman, by being faithful, by being loving, by being respectful, by being trustworthy, by being, a man of integrity, by reciprocity, leading by example. That's the word. Oh, that's the word I was looking for. Leading by example. Most men don't lead by example. Most men try to lead by control. What a man said, some men don't want to set boundaries because they want the box. Don't we know it? If you don't respect my boundaries, take your box UPS and get it shipped. Okay.
Period.
For sure. That's the thing. That's exactly what most men's problems are. They're controlled by their penis. So they know in order to get what they penis want, they got to allow the woman to do what she want to do to get the vagina when he want it. Because absolutely, it's absolutely facts. It's true. Unfortunately, if you're not allowing a woman to run rampant and do what she want to do, talk to you how she want to talk to you, you very well may sacrifice getting the box easily. But you have to be willing. Like, I don't need you. I don't need your box. right? My values and my boundaries are much more important to me than your sexual favors. So it's like men have to have a mindset. I either want a partner that I love, that I'm comfortable with, that I can have fun with, that respects me and respects my boundaries, or I don't need none. But most men ain't living like that. Most men are controlled by their penis.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He has to be Holy Ghost filled to be able to think to be able to say your box is not that, whatever, because I don't know.
Or I don't want that, I don't need that, I will wait for whatever. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
A lot
I ain't gonna say it's not impossible, but that's
it's rare.
yeah. In America. Now maybe somewhere else, but I don't know. Sex that people have, I don't know, it's just become this thing of like, oh, I need that. People be like, I can't go so long without it. And it's like, it's, that reminds me of this, of with Adam and Eve, where they didn't realize they needed clothes until after they ate the fruit. And like, I just be like, you didn't need sex before you started having it.
Right.
Yeah, you didn't need it until you started having it. So you're showing how much of your sin is more important to you. Like you're showing how much of that sin, that sexual immorality is so much of a priority, because it's like you didn't need sex before you started having it. It didn't even cross your mind really.
Yeah.
Because you didn't experience that. So it's like when I hear men tell me, "Oh, I can't go so long without sex," I already know it's a demon. Oh, you're a demon because you didn't need it before. So
There's this thing on Netflix, and the it was a crazy documentary, but the lady, she sexually abused this mentally disabled guy, and he ended up his mom was like, dang, now he be in there, like masturbating and stuff, or like, or like doing stuff because this lady, abused him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, but he had no idea what that was before that happened. So that's Trinity hit that on the nail on the head with that.
It's a documentary, so it's like a true story.
Yeah, it's a true story.
Damn.
It's called like I don't know, I forgot. I can send it to you. Damn. It's good too. I watched it twice.
Yeah. She said it was good. Yeah, that's it. Once you wake that demon up in you, it's hard to put back to sleep. Willie said, I'm a lover of great conversation. Yeah. So set those boundaries. If you're talking to an idiot, don't accept it just because she easy, willing to give up the box. You're like, oh well, this ain't it. I can't. We can't have because that's like that's always, if nothing else, that's something that my husband and I have always had in common. Even when we were teenagers, great conversation where we could talk for hours about everything.
Yeah,
and that should be important to everybody, because you're gonna have to, especially if you're trying to get married, you're gonna have to deal with that person the rest of your life.
Oh, facts.
So absolutely, that should be important to you, is having great conversation. What happens is the great conversations end as soon as folks start putting sex in the middle of it.
Okay.
Then the good conversations are, you know what I mean, they kind of dwindle or are non-existent. So you've been having sex with this person, and then years down the line you realize you really don't know them because you've been having sex with them, and they took time to really talk to them. And that's another reason why I think a lot of beautiful women don't stay in relationships long, don't stay married long, is because men aren't conversing with them. They're allowing them to just get away with their sexual favors.
Yeah.
And spend money. And if she do open her mouth, it's something ridiculous. So he really ain't listening to her no way.
Yeah. I think like it sucks because I think another reason why women, beautiful, well, especially beautiful, but like a lot of women, especially in America, stay single, because everything is telling us that if it doesn't make us feel good, then it's not good for us. So I think that plays a big role. Like, it's like, if it doesn't feel good, if it doesn't make us happy, then it's not for us. So I think especially if you're groomed and trained to believe that and think that almost all your life, it takes some
Oh, yeah.
serious reconstruction to think differently. Yeah. So everything's like, oh, that's why you got women. Oh, I got divorced because I just had to get back to myself and feel good about myself and myself and me, and I just wasn't happy. And it's like, because we're told it's supposed to make us feel good. And especially if you don't have people training you, you know, stuff like this. If you don't watch stuff, and there are people, they're watching stuff that's only telling them that it has to feel good. That if it doesn't make you feel good, it should be about yourself. All these things. Then of course of course, but a lot of us are gonna stay single because stuff is not gonna make us feel good.
That's it. That's it. Willie said, if I'm talking to an idiot, I'm out.
That's right. I know that's right, Willie.
Okay. And right. And that's another thing I keep hearing people say about beautiful women. They're not forced to do the character work. They're not forced to do the internal work because they've gotten what they want all their life. They've never been forced to do any real growth, to really mature. So they have been getting by on their looks, and men have been giving them whatever they want based on their looks, and they have not been forced to do any real character development. They're allowed to be selfish. They're allowed to be ungrateful. They're allowed to be spiteful and hateful, and yeah, it's tolerated by a lot of times by their parents, by the men they're with, by family members, friends, because they're surrounded with people with the same mindsets a lot of times. Oh, you're beautiful. You don't have to be smart. I saw some stupid movie we were watching yesterday, and the gay guy is telling his daughter, if you're be smart. If you're not smart, be funny. If you're not funny, be pretty. You can't be funny, be pretty.
I mean, that's how the world works. That's how they act. So that's how they act a lot of times. Unfortunately.
Have some character development. So what a man said, I learned a lot from the movie. It's a thin line between love and hate. Talking a good game instead of being honest is dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
He sure done did that to himself right there.
He did. Instead of leaving that crazy woman alone, he had to have that crazy woman. But he had to have her because she was so beautiful.
Yep.
And she had
Had
money.
to have her, and she had money. So that's it. He talked a good game, and he was persistent, and he got her to break down her walls or whatever, and he almost died for it. And I think it was just a movie, but I think that happens a lot. I always think about this couple. That's why I love watching your mom Tia be watching ID Investigation Discovery. And when you hear the stories about these couples when they end up getting killed by their spouse, unalived by their spouses, you hear, oh, I had to have them, and I had to have them, and then they're unalived. I see that. I always think about this one little white man. All his friends can say, oh, he had to have her. Pretty little black lady at the gym, tiny little black lady. He had to have her. She's a swole little thing. She's probably about your size, little tiny little thing. He had to have her. Next thing, that fat little white man missing. And then she was being questioned in the police office or whatever. She's so tiny, she was curled up in the police chair like this. That's how small she was. She was curled up like this.
That's how I be saying.
She was tiny. And they found that big old white man wrapped up in tape and plastic in her closet, okay? Fat white man, tiny little black lady. He had to have her. And how'd that work out for you, brother? How did that work out for you? I don't know what happened. The friends don't know what happened. They don't know how things went left or whatever, but she did it by herself.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so don't be so adamant. Have to have somebody. Gotta have it. Jesus, with these beautiful women, because they will kill you too. Have mercy. But Lord, Lord, Lord. Beauty is only skin deep. Because at the end of the day, God look at people's hearts. People ain't looking at people's hearts, that they're not taking the time to pray for God to show them these people's hearts that they're choosing for themselves. Lord, this person you have for me, they good looking, but is it for me? Is this who you have for me? Folks ain't taking the time to ask these questions.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was that. Blah blah. I'm trying to find my screen went disconnected from the internet for some reason. So now I gotta redo my stuff. You ladies have any last thoughts on that? We said to me Lifetime. That wasn't a Lifetime movie. That was an investigation discovery. It was a true story. That was not Lifetime movie. B, welcome. Thanks for coming. But that wasn't a Lifetime movie. That was an actual murder. Yeah, that was investigation discovery. I don't watch Lifetime.
PTSD from that.
I don't watch Lifetime. I don't know when the last time I watched a Lifetime movie. I like real life stuff.
Especially the Christmas movie.
Yeah. It is.
I don't know when the last time I watched no what you call it? Lifetime. So let's talk about, let me get my stuff together. I'm just messing with you. Be so funny. All right, let's see all right. So we know it's Pride Month.
LGBTQ.
I posted on my story.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's the alphabet community, but really what I really want to highlight is Men's Mental Health Month.
This month?
Yeah.
Oh, see, people don't know that.
It's actually Men's Mental Health Month, technically. Yeah. That's what I'm hearing, really what it is. But the truth about the word queer, Jordan Peterson has an excellent breakdown of this, but I can't find it by what I was actually looking for. So I'm gonna just use this what I found. Let me see. So let me know if y'all can hear stuff because my other screen is dead.
What you're saying here, although
yeah, we can hear.
You hear it? Okay.
It's backed by the literature. It's obvious you have an expertise in this area. This is labeled as transphobic.
Yeah,
this is a transphobic.
Well, it's even worse than that, because the data, and this was known, let's say 10 years ago before this all became an issue. Ken Zucker in Toronto, he was the world's leading authority on transgenderism. He divided it into two parts. There's the autogynephilic types. Those are the guys who get sexual kicks from dressing up in women's clothing and then go do drag queen story hour. Say, well, we're just, pristine and pure. It's like, no, you're not. You're getting a sexual kick from dressing up in women's clothing. And let's not bloody well forget it. You can't even say that now, but every clinician worth his salt knew that for decades. And then there's another subpopulation, and those are usually gender non-conforming kids. And, like a conservative skeptic might say there's no such thing. It's like, no, there is. So your typical gender non-conforming kid would be the perfect target for this, would be feminine boy or a masculine girl who's high in trait openness, so has kind of a mutable identity, who's also high in neuroticism. And there's lots of kids like that. And so they don't fit in that well with their peer group. They're tomboy girls or feminine boys. And then if you track a lot of them, some of them develop body dysmorphia. They're not very happy with themselves at puberty because they don't fit in. But Zucker showed very clearly, he ran the transgender treatment clinic at CAMH in Toronto for decades. And he was one of the world's leading authorities in terms of publication. I think he was the editor of the lead journal for years. They just took him out in Canada, fired him, and disgraced him. And he battled on the lawsuit front for like 10 years and was eventually vindicated. But
I'm gonna finish playing that. But one of the things he says in a different video, I could not find the clip to save my life, but he says queer is not what they're trying to make it with the homosexuals and the LGBT community. Queer is actually folks with no identity. They're open to whatever. They have no identity. That's what queer is. But they've lumped it into, and you got these homosexual kids and these gender dysmorphic children calling themselves queer when they don't even know what it means. It means you have no identity, but you're trying to identify yourself as a woman, or you're trying to identify as a man, or you're trying to identify as all the other things that come with the alphabet letters or what have you. Queer is someone with no identity. They take on whatever. More like he said, the ones that are, dressing up, the pedophiles dressing up as drag queens and, presenting as whatever. And I think a lot of it is like a facade to hide pedophilia.
Isn't that what they mean by when they say the whole non-binary thing? They don't identify as a girl or a boy. They're just there.
Yeah.
Or the them.
Yeah.
Them, that they just are there, I guess.
Yeah. See, B's cute comments are coming in. It's all about them to be blacks. Please be about LGBT plus PDF. Oh yeah, PDF. Pedophiles for real. I can't say that word. Antithetical to LGB. Let's see what that means. But yeah, they were, because really the Bible talks about the demon that identified itself as many, and that's what a lot of them are identifying themselves as, some knowingly and some unknowingly, as legion.
Lesbian, gay, bisexual.
Oh, thanks, you did that fast. So being all the things, Lord have mercy. Because people want to say, oh, I'm just this and that. But if the devil can have you doing one thing, he can have you doing all things.
Yeah. It was saying that in Romans. Every time it was talking about that in Romans. So at the last couple of chapters, it's talking about, oh, if a man does this sin and he comfortable with this sin, he comfortable doing this sin, he comfortable doing this sin. They had the men sleeping with other men, and then they had the women cheating with the other women, and next thing you know, this time I got Romans. That's a really good book for anyone if they don't want to read any other part of the Bible. Romans, that's a book right there.
Oh, yeah. Romans will have you looking yourself all upside the head.
Oh yeah. But yeah, there's something like that. Yep, that's how it be. I be feeling for that, because it's like no one loved them enough to help them understand their identity. Because I don't know if many people know this, but when I was younger, I thought I was supposed to be a boy. I don't remember if it was you or Dad that caught me standing up going to the but for the longest time, I was standing up, going to the bathroom. I remember when I would play house with girls, I would always play the guy. I just always thought I was meant to be a boy. And I even, like, because I didn't really like the whole wearing dress situation, and every time I tried to scream, I couldn't scream like the other girls. I just like it's like maybe I'm meant to be a boy, but I had people in my life to help me realize my identity and the power of being a girl and how amazing it is being a girl. But so many people don't have that. In fact, they have people trying to make them feel bad about their, you get what I'm saying? Like, you got parents who really didn't want the child that they have. It's like, oh, they really wanted a boy, or they really wanted a girl. So when they have a boy, they're dressing the boy as a girl and making the kid feel like there's something wrong with how they were born. And it's just like, it sucks. And it's like, it's definitely a sin, but I understand. Like, the Lord gave me the grace to understand these people, because it's like they don't have the love of people helping them understand and love and appreciate their identity. Because I sure wanted to be a boy. Especially, I'm talking about your coochies bleeding and stuff. Oh no, I'm meant to be a dude. I'm not meant to.
I wanted to be a boy too, Trinity. No, damn right.
It's so funny. All right, I'm gonna play the rest of it, and then we'll talk about it some more.
He didn't have a political bone in his body. He was a clinician through and through. You know, he wasn't playing political games, documenting autogynephilia. That was just clinical reality. Now it's become verboten to even suggest such a thing. Oh, there's nothing sexual about this. It's like, yeah, right. You're dressing up in lingerie before your mirror at home, tucking your dick between your legs, imagining you have a vagina for a sexual kick. Oh, there was nothing sexual about that. Yeah, right. Bloody absolute liars. Now, then you have the kids who don't fit in on the gender front. That's a different pathway. But with them, if you leave them alone, so do no harm, leave them alone. 90% of them accept their body, their sex, by age 18 or 19. And 80% of them are gay. So what that also means is, and the gay community is going to wake up to this sooner or later, is that most of the kids being sterilized and mutilated are gay. 80% of them. So I don't see how the LGBT alliance is going to hold up under that sort of reality. So,
in just the last 7.
So, just like he said, a lot of them are not even, they don't really, every kid, I think, struggles with that at some point. I wanted to be a boy. I hated having to get my hair done. I used to have penis envy for sure. I was a boy every Halloween through middle school, okay? And I would design myself a penis and everything. Sure did.
See that demon come generation. I got to stop
it was
that.
coming. It tried. Even my son was, even when he was like 3 or 4, he struggled with where he had some jewelry, and I remember he put some jewelry on his head. He's like, I want to be a girl, they're so pretty. And then like Jordan Peterson said, if you just leave them alone, they will come. I just said, boy, you are handsome as you are. You're a beautiful young man. Just you are. You don't have to be a girl to be beautiful. You're handsome. You're strong as a boy. I just had that quick talk with him. It didn't take long. I didn't have to beat it out of him or anything. I just had that quick discussion with him and continue to encourage him as a young man, and how strong and handsome he is as a young man. He don't struggle with that no more.
Oh yeah.
Even Trent. Oh yeah, he loved being a man. Trent don't struggle with that no more. They don't struggle with it. Like, and I absolutely believe it's encouragement by the parents. So we got some comments coming in. It says, Trent, I'm glad you're not a boy. Trent.
Thanks. I love being a woman. Oh my gosh, I wouldn't take it back for the world.
Me too. It took a while, but I did too. It said Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lamb. Is that a movie? I know. Is that in the movie? I don't know nothing about that. Said B said, yep. So I'm pretty sure I speak for all men when I say that I'm happy you're a woman.
Thank you kindly.
Amen. But I think because for whatever reason, the society makes the other sex just seem better. Like, it just seemed like it was better as me as a female. It just seemed like it was better to be a male. You know what I mean? Like, you see women, when you see women being abused, when you see women unhappy, you see women whatever, then you're gonna lose respect for who you are, because you don't see anybody around you necessarily proud in who they are as a woman and who God made them. You see them sad, you see them depressed, you see them they hate themselves. When you grow up with somebody saying, oh, I'm ugly, but you beautiful, I'm ugly, then you like, damn, like, but you see men, enjoying their lives, enjoying their best lives, going out, dating, then you like, that looks better. Men, where men have homies, look like they just have fun, look like, well, you gotta feel like as a woman you struggle to make and keep friends. Yeah. So it could be all these negative things that we could focus on. And I'm sure men can focus on a lot of negative things about being a man that could make it seem like being a woman will be better. And the devil will have you focus on everything you don't have. Yeah. Will have you focused on everything you are lacking. But that's why having to know yourself in the Lord and know how powerful you are and who the Lord made you is so powerful. Knowing yourself in the Lord. Because I did not always appreciate being a woman. I did not. But I had to grow into that. And now I love it. I'm blessed as a woman, but I understand my power as a woman. I understand my role as a woman. And I understand that having a man doesn't make me weak. it means I have a man, so I have to be strong in the Lord because I have a man that needs me to be strong.
Oh yeah. And being in a place like Atlanta, I see why a lot of these men are gay or homosexual. I see why, because they get a certain level of respect that the straight men don't get. They get a certain level of love that the straight black men don't get. Like I was telling you, Mom, when I had went to this panel conversation thingy, when the straight men that were married and, you know, masculine, you know, they got some stand up, they got some woo woo woo. When the gay guy came out, the women was standing, screaming, everyone's recording, hyping this dude up. Okay, like, and it just really was like, this is why a lot of these men turn homosexual, because that is the only way that I don't know how it is in other places, but especially in Atlanta, that these black men are getting love. That's the only way. Or when you see a bunch of women surrounded by a man, majority of the time the man is homosexual. You will rarely see a bunch of beautiful women surrounded one man, and it's a level of respect and love. So it was just like, dang, hey, if I was black man out here, I might I consider being homosexual too. That's the only way they's getting love out here. So
it's either like he has to be homosexual, or if he is heterosexual, he got to be weak. He got to be willing to put aside all his values, all his boundaries have to be, you know, whatever. He got to be a submissive. He has to be willing to be emasculated.
Allow her to wear whatever she want to wear and talk to him whatever she want to talk to him.
Where she could talk to him crazy, where she could do whatever she want to do, and he better not say nothing or her what one of the YouTubers call them, hyenas, coming after him. It's sad. And the celebration of Pride, not only is it demonic for the homosexual community, for the LGBT alphabet community or what have you, it is demonic in general. Why are we celebrating something that the devil was kicked out of heaven for? The devil was kicked out of heaven for his pride. The Bible speaks over and over again how much God hates pride. I remember we were doing Bible study with Trin and the two younger ones. They were way smaller, and the boy was reading that. He was like, God hates pride. Like, he had to go back. Like, yes, God hates pride. So this thing that they're celebrating is intentionally to separate them from God, whether they realize it or not.
Yeah, even if it was straight pride.
It's straight pride. Absolutely. It being prideful is everything against God. No. Now, being proud of, what did Paul say? I boast in my weakness, because it's where God can show his power. I'm proud of my weaknesses because it shows how powerful God is. So it depends on what kind of pride and where you're exerting, what are you proud of in yourself? Are you proud of your own works? Are you proud of yourself, or are you proud of your identity in Christ? Are you proud of how are you proud of the things God has done for you? What are you boasting about? And what they're boasting about is their sin. They're boasting about how sinful they are, how proud they are of being in their sin. So what we should be saying is prostitutes should be having a Pride Month. All kind of hoes should be having Pride Month. And the pedos is like, if they could do it, we could all do it. Abusers should have a month. Haters, we should have hater month, jealousy month. We should have months for all the things. Why we just have it down to just pride? Yeah. So B said he is the one that threw the woman down his well and said it puts the lotion on and danced around in his mirror with his hidden tucked between his legs, Jodie Foster. Oh, okay. Oh, in that movie, Silence of the Lambs. Gotcha. Girl, I know that took a minute to type. She got the emojis and everything. But okay.
Emojis.
Okay. I remember. I haven't seen that movie in a minute, but okay, I remember. That's right. Yes, I remember. Thank you, B, for clarifying. Thank you. Because funny. Another tactic for the buck broken society: attacked and put down and emasculated by your women. That's it. That's what they want. They want men broken down by women. And a lot of times once women break down men, the older men, they coming for the kids. Because then the young boys see, oh wait, I better not be a masculine man. So that you see the situations like the boy getting where he crying about his father. He's dressed up in a dress and a wig, and he crying because his father's about to walk him to prom because he felt like his father never accepted him. I wonder what kind of terms those women put on that man to force him to take that boy to that prom.
There's the only 2 men. The rest was women.
Hyenas. And the boy probably is homosexual because he's seen how they did him, the father. Jesus. And that father is he ought to be ashamed of himself because he was too afraid to stand up as a man. So he's at fault for that boy as well. For that homosexual boy, afraid to stand up in his manliness, can't be masculine because he allowed women all around him to emasculate him.
You know when they be saying, when I be seeing the people be confronting the preachers that be at the parades and stuff, they be like, God is love. And it's like, I have yet to see any of those preachers actually tell people the definition of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll be like, oh, yeah, but yeah, I'm showing you love because and that's true. That's true. They're showing you love because they don't want you to go to hell in your sin and things of that nature. But it's like, let these people know how love is actually defined in the Bible.
Yeah.
Let people know it's not self-seeking and it does not delight in evil. Right. Let people know the definition of what love is so that they can understand. Because the preachers aren't doing that. They're saying, oh, yeah, I love you because, I don't want you. And that is true. But they're saying that because they're expecting you not to know what the real definition of love is.
Yeah.
Quote the Bible. If you're quoting the Bible, let them know, okay, do you know what the Bible says love means? Majority of the time, they're going to say no. Help them understand what the definition of love is. And it most definitely talks about it not being self-seeking and it not delighting in evil. Whether you're homosexual, whether you're straight, living in sin, sleeping outside of marriage or whatever, it does not delight in evil. Let them know that.
Amen. That's what
they're expecting you not to know what it actually means.
Amen.
Yeah, that's it. That's what a lot of people are confusing, is that they think I'm loving you by allowing you to live in your sin. And that's what a lot of people are used to. That's why when people who speak up are hated and ostracized. Because the ones who you know what, you don't need to be sleeping with that person you ain't married to. You heterosexual, speaking to heterosexual couples, you don't need to be having sex with them. That's not God's will for your life. Those who speak up are, oh, why you ain't God? Why you telling me? Why And then when they live how they want to live, the first thing they want to do is turn to God's people and complain about the decisions they made. Pray for me because I'm, these things and that happen, but you were warned.
Yeah.
And I was made the enemy. Now would Paul say, am I your enemy now because I told you the truth? And that's what we ended up happening. Even, I've even dealt with that even within myself, where I got so used to being coddled in wrong decisions, being coddled in sin, that when you have somebody like my mother-in-law that speaks like, oh no, you don't need to be doing that. That ain't it. You tend to resent the one telling you the truth. You tend to resent the one that's not coddling you, allowing you to accept your sinful lifestyle. That's not accepting of it. You're resentful. Said B said it is usually for someone getting to him and abusing him in childhood, while no father to protect him and mother busy working. A lot of times, yes. A lot of times, yeah. Different scenarios, different with these. A lot of these young folks coming up homosexual, but I know that is definitely one scenario. No father around. A lot of times, absolutely. And sometimes we see the situation with the father around, and he's just absolutely a weak. So he may as well not be around. What a man said, homosexuality is for attention. A lot of times, I agree. Because it's no fun just being heterosexual. We don't got heterosexual Pride Month.
We would say even the old school homosexuals is looking at the new school like, what is wrong with y'all?
I know. I never thought we'd see a time where we'd be like, dang, what happened to the good old fashioned homosexuals? Where they at?
The people that done come out here, they be like, Atlanta's too gay for me. The gay, listen, I refuse to lose because it's too gay for me.
Not the too gay.
Too gay from the gays. That's how bad it is.
Said, I had things happen to me as a kid, didn't turn me out, even though it was supposed to. Amen. It made me love women more and not trust men. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Because a lot of time that is not what be happening. A lot of these folks, men and women alike, are essayed and end up turning right to that same population that was abusing them. Sometimes the opposite. I've seen women abused by women that turn out lesbian. Women that abused by men that turn out prostitutes for men. Oh yeah, men get abused by women and turn out, become not misogynist, but where they become HO3. They become where they have all kinds of women after they were abused by women. So demons don't have a face. They will turn up however you allow them in your life. They will turn up and turn you out however you allow them, not your circumstances. People blame their decisions on their circumstances, and it be decisions they made. So just like what a man said, I had things happen to me as a kid, but he chose not to go that route. So Willie said, I've been SA'd by a couple of women, mostly by black male. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Well, thank you for that testimony too, because I think a lot of men are abused, like Brother What a Man said. Brother Willie, they testifying. And a lot of times men's relationship issues come from this.
Yeah.
B said being pulled into the club and accepted. Pulled in, indeed. Pulled in, exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. And being and it's like being prideful of your demons. You proud of your demons. That's why you still got them. That's why they're not going to be released from you, because you've accepted them. You're comfortable with them. You're proud of them. You're wearing them like a flag. And then don't get me started on the gay folk with the black stripes. Like they put a bundle black folks and homosexuals all together. You know that flag? You know the flag. You know the flag, girl.
No, I was gonna say I don't know either.
Let me see. You don't be seeing them Black Lives Matter flags with the.
Oh yeah, the churches be having that too. They'll have the B. Yes, T. You ain't seen them churches out here.
Let me see.
They'll have the rainbow flag with the Black Lives Matter flag.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna pull it up.
She doesn't have nothing to ourselves.
Nothing.
Here we go. Here we go. Let's see. Okay. Let me share my screen. Girl, I know you seen that flag. I'm like, that'll piss me off. And these white folks be having them in their yard, like
they be white too.
You see this? Do you see this madness?
I've actually never seen them before.
Me neither.
You've never seen these? Oh
No,
yes,
no.
this is the one to the far left is where they're bundling black folks and homosexuals all together.
So that's the rainbow, black, brown, trans, and then
no. Let's clarify. God's rainbow, the rainbow of my God, has 7 colors. The rainbow for the homosexuals has 6 colors.
Oh, interesting.
Okay,
6.
and then they throw in, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
The number 6, you know.
Yes, and then they add the gender neutral colors, and then with the black folks, we're all one, because being black is a sin. You damn dummies.
Oh, that's funny.
Dummies. Lord Jesus, that's so aggravating. I can't even. I'm calling churches. Where the Lord's telling me to contact some of these churches for whatever. I avoid the ones with these flags on their websites.
I've never seen that before. That's crazy.
They got them in Denver. These white folks be having them in their yards like they standing for something. You're standing for. So you're telling, what you're saying is, I agree that being black is a sin along with homosexuality, and I accept them all. It's crazy. B said, I done had enough of that ish equating gay with black. Me too. I'm for real. I'm so over it. And a lot of Black Americans fell for that. That's why you see them standing up, giving the homosexual men standing ovations, because they absolutely honor homosexual men over straight men. A lot of black women have gotten to a point that they hate masculine men, that they hate heterosexual men. Don't let them be a black man with money and some standards. They don't want that.
I mean, they claim to feel safer with homosexual men, like, because they're gay, that they're not gonna rape you, or they're not gonna touch you, or they're not gonna. I wouldn't go by that. You never know.
But
You never know, because
irony
I'm
that,
like, I feel more, dangerous to completely let my guard down and say, okay, because he's gay, I'm not gonna think any red flag of, oh, I'm changing in front of him and he's looking, but he's gay. He probably just hasn't seen boobs in a while, so it's probably nothing. So I completely let my guard down, and he's looking at me or whatever the case is, and I just assume every single time that because he's gay, nothing will happen. I'm like, I'm not gonna go by that. A man is a man is a man. I'm not gonna say, oh, well, because he's gay, he's never gonna beat me up or touch me, or because a lot of gay men, when they start throwing that B word around and start acting like they finna fight you and all that stuff, you're still a man. Yeah. You're still a man. And you still have the strength of a man. So if you hit me, and just because you talking like me, you got my outfit on, you think that you're able to hit me?
Yeah. Oh
she
yeah.
took the words right out of her mouth.
You're crazy.
That's the irony. Like, you feel safer, but
no.
Once you've allowed them to be comfortable enough to think they can be us, they will try to be us. Like, they will think it's okay to fight us. They think it's okay to call us out of our names. They think it's okay to be disrespectful, but they'll call it real because we treat them as if they're everyone's, like, what's that, like aunties or whatever. But you feel safer. But when they get comfortable, they're rude. They're a lot of, not all the time. But they can be rude, disrespectful, and then they can start to think they could put their hands on you, like Hyper said. And so it's like,
because what's the difference? What's the difference between a heterosexual man hitting you and a gay man hitting you? What do you think? Oh, because he's gay, it's not gonna hurt as bad. Oh, because he's gay,
stronger.
Them gay men be, man, but them gay men, they're still men. That's the thing. People be thinking, oh, because they're gay, they're less of a man. They're not up there. They're less of a man because they're feminine. They're less. No, it's still a man.
Oh man.
You could change it for him and his little ding dong go up and you're like, oh my God, what are you doing? I thought you didn't like this stuff. You're still a man.
You're still a man.
If you calling me out and they talking about you finna beat me up, you ain't gonna beat nothing. No, you're getting maced just like every other man. What? I'll still mace you. What? What do you mean?
And the what's so bizarre is, so we're supposed to believe that you're aroused by the same sex. So the devil got you aroused by demonic stuff. So but we're supposed to believe women don't arouse you at all. We're supposed to believe that.
No.
No.
Because them gay men still be, for Beyonce, I'll probably, whatever. When it comes to her, or they have these celebrity idols that they idolize and be like, well, she's bad. So like for her, I would definitely like.
Yeah.
So it's
a lot of them still be sleeping with women. They just be publicly gay.
women.
They just on the hunt.
Exactly.
Instead of being sneaky with the men, they're sneaky with the women.
Exactly.
They flipped it. That's all it is. They just
That's all they do. I know too many gay dudes with kids.
Exactly. They'll be like, my daughter.
He got kids with a lesbian.
They slip up my daughter.
Yes.
Your daughter.
My aunt was an undercover self-hating, woman-hating, was with a undercover self-hating, woman-hating gay dude who abused her and broke her arm. Oh yeah, it's a whole lot of that going on. They be hating the women. They be with women, but they be hating them and be abusing them because they ain't one.
No.
Oh yeah, but B says the sass behind it and the nails come out too. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So, Willie said I've seen some gay dudes put a whooping on some straight dudes. Oh yeah, me too.
All that fighting all that life.
Me too. Me too. Short homosexual gentlemen. They did not mess with him. They would go out and they done seen him put whippings on dudes, and he's short. It ain't even like he a big gay dude. He was a little gay guy, but he was whipping on dudes. Okay. So, and you know what is something? Oh, Trent sent me that. You was talking about sneaking around. How you sent me the one with the lesbian that was talking about I'm a dick dyke.
Oh yeah, so
I didn't see that.
Let me see if I can. Where'd you send me that? Did you send me that on IG?
I think it was from YouTube. It was from YouTube.
From YouTube. Oh, you texted to me. I think you texted to me. Yeah, like it really is the homosexual community is undercover straight, and you got the straight community is of undercover homosexuals. Everybody confused.
Yeah.
Everybody confused. But I used to see, like, I used to wonder, because I had some, lesbian friends when I was a kid. And they were lesbian young. Like, we were like 12, 13. And a couple of them, we're not allowed to say dykes. They're the masculine, whatever. But I could never understand, like, why they couldn't be together. Why can't you be with her? Y'all, oh, that's gay.
Wait, what? See, this stuff pisses me off. I don't understand.
That's gay. So 2 masculine lesbians can't be together because that's gay.
Because they consider themselves to be what? Not both
Masculine.
women. They're okay. I guess so.
That's my head.
That's what I'm saying. My brain don't go that low. I don't know.
Here's the clip. I'm gonna show it because this conversation has to be had. The ridiculousness is be out of control. I can't. Let me see. And she looked like a for real dyke.
She sound like one too.
Let me see. Let me see. Oh wait. Let me share I gotta get my because I'm sharing everything from one screen. Okay. Can y'all see?
Yeah.
Called a dick.
Can y'all hear?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that deep voice.
On Carter Great. If I'm gonna be a stud, I'm the stud that sneaks off and go fuck with men on the side. I'm not fully committed. You feel me? I'm what you call a dick dyke on Carter Great. If I'm gonna be a stud, I'm the stud that sneaks off and go fuck with men on the side. I'm not fully committed. You feel me?
She honest.
Okay.
They probably love her too. They probably love her too, because she still gives that, whatever, where they could still be homies, but at the same time she still got what men
She still got the parts.
She still got the parts.
She's still a woman. Nonetheless, she's
That's
still
right.
a woman. B said that's that Diddy-ish, just a pretty girl for show. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. So Willie said the same thing, like Poofy Daddy. What a man said. Who do y'all think get hated on more, sassy men or women with women, or masculine women with men? Who gets hated on more? That's a good
Wait,
question.
leave that up there. Okay, sassy men with women, or masculine with men.
Who gets hated on more?
I think
Masculine.
Sassy men with women.
Sassy men with women.
Yeah,
Sassy men with women or masculine women with men.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sassy men with
for
women.
sure. Every time you see a sassy man, like, I love the sassy, like, this guy. You know. Ooh,
And
he's
they don't
sassy.
really hear the end of it.
Yeah. Yeah. But with masculine women with men, it's like, yeah. Just tell them what you want. I don't know.
Because it's like the masculine women the men that are with the masculine women are gonna be called sassy.
Wait, say that again.
The men that are with the masculine women, a lot of times they're seen as sassy, like you a punk.
Oh yeah.
Because so I think it's sassy men with women.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. But I could see sassy men being more targeted because he automatically is assumed that he's homosexual.
So when we say sassy, do we mean like what?
Feminine, feminine kind of men. Yeah, flamboyant men. Like Todd Chrisley.
They're a very odd couple, but it works.
They're odd. It does.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Todd Chrisley is. He's a very feminine man. Let's see if I can find Todd. He is hilarious though. Okay, so they're a couple that that's a whole nother topic. So
yeah, are they still in prison?
They just got pardoned. Pardoned them out of prison. Yes, absolutely. But I'll close out this topic and then I'll show a clip of Todd Chrisley and his wife. But yeah, I just want to put the word out. We should not be celebrating demonic things. We should not be celebrating any sin, not just the alphabet community. We should not be celebrating our sin. I used to pride myself in being a hoe when I was in middle school. We called ourselves hoes in training. Proud 8th grade hoes. It was so ridiculous.
Crazy.
I was playing with my Barbie dolls in 8th grade still.
I was trying to put some notches on my belt.
Lord, okay.
8th grade, 9th grade. It was a sad mess. Sad. It was so sad because that's you get you get brainwashed by society. You hear middle schoolers like, "Oh, you're a virgin." What's wrong with you? We're in 8th grade. Okay, it's just sad. So it's not just the homosexual community that's struggling with pride in their sin. It's a whole lot of folks. So I don't want to just target the LGBT whatever the alphabet community because they ain't the only ones that's prideful in their sin.
What I find so funny is how so many things are like in our faces. You know what I mean? Like how they call it pride, and that's what the devil got out of heaven for. Or like the movie Sinners, right? How it was literally called Sinners, and people were like, "This has nothing to do with God at all. It has nothing to do with none of that. It's not what this is about. Y'all make everything about that." Like it's like, wow, like y'all really don't get it. Or like celebrities when they put like those certain symbols up or whatever, and they're like they sold their souls and all that stuff, and they're like, no, that's not what happened. It's just like it's just so deeply in our faces, and people just deny it every time. But I be seeing stuff. I don't care. You can't convince me that they ain't selling.
Yeah, it's the week.
You just can't convince me of that.
It's the truth. That's how. Yeah, it be right out in your face, and I think the devil counts on people not paying attention, being so accepting, being so okay with the demonic, because he counts on us really not paying attention.
They love to pull that judgment or whatever. Thou shalt not judge or whatever. That's what they
Only
love to
God
pull.
can judge me.
Yeah, they love to pull that, like, you can't judge me. How can I be judged if I am not good myself or some whatever they be saying. But they say that all the time. Like, you can't judge us because you're not better than us or whatever. And it's like, okay, I guess.
The Bible does say we're not to judge the world, meaning people outside the church, but we are called to judge the people in the church.
Yeah.
So the people outside the church living in sin and the pride and all that stuff, that they live it like how they're supposed to live. When it starts creeping into the church, and you got these churches with the homosexual flags talking about you know what I mean? Yeah, you're supposed to accept all people, but all sins should not be tolerated.
Yeah.
That's when it becomes a problem. Yes, everyone should be welcome into your church, but we should not be tolerating people's sin where they just sitting in church comfortable with their sin of any kind.
Yeah.
So I have a
That's
question.
what the problem. Yeah.
So when it says in the church, does it mean people physically in the church, or does it also mean people who are calling themselves Christians?
That's a good question.
All the above.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All the above. If you're a leader of a congregation, nobody should be comfortable in their sin in your congregation.
Yeah.
If you are a Christian in your home, no one in your house should be comfortable in sin in your home. If you are congregating with believers, Christians outside of church, having dinner, going to lunch, having breakfast, whatever, they should not be comfortable to be bragging to you about who they sleeping with and they not married. They should not be comfortable with you telling you that they taking it in the booty hole and they with a man and that he gay and how comfortable he is to be a homosexual. He should not be comfortable talking to you about it.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I was curious. Yeah, so I went to a birthday party, and it was a lot of, and then we all we prayed and everything. The gay one, he was like, "Come on, y'all, we gotta pray." Like he prayed and everything, and then he was saying, "I gotta go meet a man about a horse."
Okay.
Meet a man.
So that's why I had to ask that question. So it was like, and then he was like, and he was telling the other, he's like, and we got to go to church. So that's why I was like, yeah.
Meet a man about him.
Think about it. There you
horse.
go. There you go. There it is. She got it, y'all. There we go.
Meet a man about a horse.
Yeah.
That's a cute minute. I was like, she gonna get it. She gonna get it.
We're gonna get to go see a horse.
What kind of horse?
But he was saying it. I'm thinking he meant, okay, like y'all go horseback riding.
Nah.
And then he kept saying it, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Nah. My mind got it right away. I'm ashamed.
So B says sloth month. Yeah, we should have all the things. Thieves month. Yes. Come on, B. Let's have all the things. Let's celebrate it all. We're gonna celebrate
month. So you get to sleep.
sloth. Yeah, sloth month.
Yeah, lazy.
Amen. For real. What a man said, Marjorie on point with pride is not just homosexuals. Deep. It sure ain't. I ain't no fool. I don't want to just point out one person sin and not every sin. Oh, I clicked that by accident. B said, thought that was just meant they had to pee. But I guess they've taken that and run. Yeah, my mom used to say that to us when we asked her where she going. I'm going to see a man about a horse. We was like, oh, okay. Whatever.
Lord.
Yeah.
Grandma used to say that?
My mom used to say that when we were kids, for sure.
Mm-mm.
I don't think she had any real, but I don't know. She didn't tell us what she was going to do, so we don't know what she was going to do. She might have been getting some horse. We don't know.
No, it's best to stay a secret. It's best to stay a secret.
Yeah. Lord have mercy. But I'm gonna close out with this hilarious. We're gonna watch some, since y'all don't know who Todd Chrisley is. I'm gonna show some quick clips about him. Oh, I know. Okay, yeah, I know Tia, no Todd.
I don't know who that is.
So we're gonna look a little bit of Todd sassy men with women, because he is happily married. He wanted his children. She had them children for him. Okay.
You know what that means?
What?
All sodas.
Grayson, you're not drinking that soda.
Daddy.
You're not drinking.
Gotta watch who you're talking to.
Oh, see, that's why I don't want no kids.
Blow the nipple.
That's not
You
the
gotta risk
kid.
it
That's
to
the
get the
parent.
biscuit.
Call.
Dress is almost to your.
I was trying to see if I could find something funny with Todd. That ain't the kid. That's the parent.
That kid looked at him like, man, shut up. You know you ain't finna do nothing.
You're not going to believe what
Especially with these
He
kids.
looked
Tell
him
me
in his
everything.
eye
I'll
as
show
he
you.
opened the can.
So I started the biggest
Where
initiative.
is my belt?
So the guy sent us this compatibility thing where we have to answer questions about each other, just so he gets an idea of who we are.
We're compatible. And I mean, but if we're going to do it, we're going to do it right. We're going to make sure it looks perfect.
Absolutely.
All right, first question. My husband or wife is the world's best and is the world's worst.
Mine is best mother, and the worst, she's the most unorganized person in the world.
Best father, worst critic.
I'm not a.
What you think about him?
He's fat.
Hey, he got the right woman.
Yes. Let me see.
Got the right woman.
Oh, him and his mother are hilarious. Let me see. His mom.
Blackjack again. Woo, I got another winner. We're going to tear this table up. Maybe if this is a 10. Oh, man. Ooh, wait. I love this hand.
Wrong way. Hey, what are you doing?
21. I'm playing.
You're supposed to be with Chase.
I got him in a secure place. He's going to wait on me so I can play a little bit, Todd. I'm going to double down.
Mama, it's time to go get something to eat.
Take that and go buy you something.
I don't want to go buy something. I want you to come on.
Take this and go.
I'm not. Now come on. I don't have time for this. I'm busy trying to keep Julie calm with Savannah's pageant. It's a very.
They are so funny. He got pardoned out of jail, and I know a lot of that is TV comedy. Let me see thought that. Oh, okay. The comments coming. By the way, I'm not flirting, but Trina's.
My mom don't do the goddess stuff, but appreciate
You see Jesus. We see Jesus in them.
That's how
Okay,
you
that's
tell
what
me
you
it's
see,
the
the
God.
Lord in them.
It's the
It's
Jesus.
the God in how you see. Amen. That's the God in all of us. You see. B said, "Y'all taking that current twisted meaning and applying it to poor little grandma who just didn't want to say toilet. Quit. Don't be putting shame and judgment by your new terms." Right. That is so funny. What a man said. It was, if that was my son, he wouldn't even have the opportunity to open the refrigerator. Okay. Okay now. Sheesh. But yeah, he's it's funny. We know a lot of that is just for TV, but don't equate that to that's children. That's how he raised his kids for TV.
Yeah.
Because my kids, Trend 23, and she act like she's still scared to knock on my door.
That's trauma.
My kids do not lock on but my husband had them trained. They don't knock on our door. We keep all the snacks. We keep it locked up so it don't get ate in a day. But you train your kids up how you want them. However they are, is because that's how you want them trained up. Folks ain't trained and don't want to take the time to train their kids. They want to let them do what they want to do, act how they want to act, and then complain that kids is bad when they're not setting any boundaries. Again, setting boundaries.
Yeah, I remember my old homegirl that I had to cut off. Her son. Now that little boy was bad, but it's her fault. But I remember he was trying to open the door because he was finally tall enough to reach the doorknob. And she's like, "Don't touch that doorknob. Don't touch that doorknob." And you could tell the look on his face was saying, "You don't tell me what to do any other time. Only reason why you're telling me is because I was there." But the way he was looking at her, he's like, "Oh." As she's telling him, "Don't open that door. Don't open." He's like, come on now, like, heifer, please. And he like walked out. I was like, Lord.
Children are very smart. They know when you're full of crap. They know when you don't mean. Oh yeah. What'd you say, Tree?
He ended up slapping her, but
Oh, see.
Oh yeah, he slapped the mess out of her. That's what ended our friendship. But long story. Yeah.
Because that's how she trained him. Not because he's a kid, but because that's how she trained him. So don't let these badly trained children discourage you from, because we know you is not going to tolerate that. We know that you're going to have your children set right. So if I was you, I would not even let that stuff bother me, because you would have your children trained before their feet even hit the ground.
Pretty Boy doesn't even when he was looking at me like, I can't go in that bathroom, but he was staring at me. Oh, Tia got him whipped. Because he was not about to step in that bathroom, okay?
Right. And you have a dog, and how you train your dog is an absolute indicator of how you would train your children, because you have to train dogs. If you don't train a dog, they will attack you if they're not properly trained. Especially you have certain breeds that are like naturally aggressive. If they're not properly trained, they could be a danger to their owners. I see videos of people with big dogs where they can't even get in their bed because the dog growling at them.
Oh.
No. Nope. It's all about how you train and what I'm gonna say. Every time I'm in the kitchen, you in the kitchen. Especially when you got older kids. Especially with the older children. Always in the kitchen, scourging, scramaging, whatever. Yeah, your kids they're gonna be how you train them.
Yeah. Just like how we saw that one woman, Tia, last year, 4th of July. When she had that big black cane corso, who's just calm. But he could break that thing anytime he wanted to. Like that was a big. He's at people's hips. That's how big he was, and he's just calm. She got him trained.
Yeah.
On this tiny leash. Little line.
Strange.
She got him trained. She had no kids, so she got time to do that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it definitely takes time. But well, I'm gonna let you ladies head out. Did you guys have any last words, any last thoughts while we are here about any of the topics we discussed today?
Nope. Very helpful.
I'm gonna lie. At first, I was scared to post it on my story.
What?
The topic, but then something said no. The devil wants you to be scared. He wants you to be controlled. Because I got people that I hang out with that not even really homosexual, but be stuff like that. And I was like, oh, what if they? But then someone said, Trinity, you are working on. It's not about other people. It's not about what you think. It's not about what they feel. You are working for the Lord. You are not working for anybody else. So I said, okay.
Oh yeah, because that's the thing. Because we ain't attacking homosexuals. We're attacking sin in general.
Yeah.
We ain't attacking homosexuals because they ain't the only ones living in sin.
Yeah.
They're not the only ones living in sin. I just put that on the thumbnail because I know that's what it stands for. This Pride Month, that's what it stands for technically, but people don't realize that we're celebrating all sin. That's what they're celebrating, all sin. We ain't just gonna point out the homosexuals. Everybody's sin is we walk around in pride. Folks is bragging about they baby daddies and my boyfriend, and we're living together, and folks bragging about it all on social media like it's so cute. We all have been prideful in our sin, not just homosexuals.
Amen.
So well, that's it for this evening. Thanks so much, you guys, for coming through. Thanks for everybody watching. What a Man, the string is just for show.
That dog, if he wanted to, child.
Big boy. He is big. He's even bigger.
He's bigger. Yeah, bigger than Big Boy.
Oh yeah, cane corsos. Oh yeah. So What a Man said the topic was bold. Yeah, it was. Said not just homos, all the hoes. Amen.
That's a good one.
That is so funny. Well, catch me live just this Tuesday, 7 p.m. and Fridays. Catch me on here. And thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Wifery Garden this evening. We had so much fun. I had so much fun with you ladies.
Thanks.
You guys, it's so exciting, so interesting and entertaining. And I'm praying for everybody. Everybody give them wisdom, strength, and peace, Lord. help them have the courage to be obedient to you. In Jesus' awesome mighty name. And until Tuesday night, that's about it. That's all I got for today. I'm gonna let y'all go. Pray, pray, pray every day, all day. Deuces, y'all.
Love you,
Bye.
beautiful
Love you guys. Love you
ladies.
guys. Bye. Love you. Bye.
Bye, Bobby.
Bye, baby. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to this Wifery Garden episode. I love you guys and I appreciate y'all so much. I'm going to be on here live again Tuesday night. If y'all have any topics y'all want to discuss, send me an email. Check out the website. I can't forget to put that on here. Check out the website. Go on there, subscribe, get notified as I progress in this walk with the Lord. Otherwise, that's all I got for today. Today was fire. And I love those ladies and I love you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Deuces.